Alright. I have no fucking clue if anything works. Hopefully things work, but I have no clue if they do. So, yeah, this is gonna be fun. Did a practice mode run to clear out some lag, but now I had to modify the chart because two of the saws were somewhat broken, so I had to fix them. And because of that, lag's gonna be back. So, fuck it, I don't care. Also, I have settings a little differently, modify them a little. FPS gonna go up, that's what I was using normally. And I'm not gonna touch the other things, so you're gonna see some random things during B-Sod, which I'm gonna... They look a bit weird because they're old. I hope to probably get around to fixing them up, so that they look alright. Because, yeah. But for now, its visuals kind of unfinished. It's also been somewhat buffed, so you're gonna see some of those. Hopefully I haven't more expecting them. There's flag. I expected that spot to lag because it always does. It did not lag. Only some girl likes it out. Pretty much time to get that. God, that's the first time I died to that saw. Well, that was close to extension, so that's good. Let's track this over here. Alright. Well, that's not bad. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's gonna be kind of all over the place. Probably because I am quite buried with things. Right now I kind of feel like the more I play, the worse I get. Hopefully go away sometime. Again? Okay then. Saw's being weird, I guess. I don't know. I completely forgot to turn those on.
3, 2, 1.
That's gonna be real fun. That's it. 10 minutes. Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's a new PB. Fuck me. Yeah, this is 10 minutes. The entire extension past 516 in it is duet, and every single saw blade is insta-kill. That is a new PB. Oh, fucking hell. I get really nervous once reaching the extensions, so... Getting to there is pretty good. But yeah, there's a time thing at the bottom. As you can see, it's 10 minutes. And lag is back. That's lovely. Love when that happens. fucking headphones are bugging out. They randomly half unplug and completely mess up the audio. I don't know why they're doing it, but they did it there and it's really distracting.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, we have more lag. That's... Just love this. Why is there always so much lag? God damn it. I tried doing the hit pattern that I don't normally do, and it messed me up. And I tapped too fast or something. God damn it. Why is that saw being weird? Never had issues with that one before. You know. Consistency is all over the place, but decent. God damn it. Forgot it's a 4-saw. I have no heart rate monitor.
3, 2, 1, go.
I would try one, but no plans to get one. It's impossible, really. That's around past the extension, so I get to the extension, I'm happy. Yeah. Nerves are a problem for me. 'Cause I get nervous once I get past the first Beacon. It's pretty early in all things considered, but yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
You'll probably be rusty. Also, I should stop speaking during runs. It gets me killed. I'm not good at multitasking with voice. Nothing out of this. I just forgot that was there entirely.
3, 2, 1, go.
But yeah, I'm better at the extension than I thought I would be, which is good. A lot better than I thought it would be, actually. Yeah, extension hold is hard. 25 stars in a row. God, fucking. Ugh.
3, 2, 1, go.
I really can't split my vision apart with this. I'd say a lot of it has what's happened. I would have gotten BB earlier. So that's already a good first frame. I'll place at least 3 runs of suspension. Maybe 4, I don't remember. Sorta, yeah. I have to get that close. I forgot. I might do some visual stuff at Extension. I don't know. For now, I'm kind of happy with how things are. What I do want to do is redo... Yeah, I want to redo B-Sod visuals. That's the main thing I want to do, because the B-Sod visuals that are currently in here are very old ones that I never quite did properly. So, as you can tell in the B-Sod sections, it's pink. But not only is it pink, but I changed the shade-in, I guess, for the actual characters, but it looks a bit weird. The reason it looks weird is because instead of doing it on the base sprite, I did it on the already existing B-Sod sprite. I don't know why I did that, but it makes it look weird because the pink coloring has to go over the blue coloring that was already there from the original B-Sod. And additionally, I haven't changed the color in the TVs during the B-Sod. So, for visuals, the main thing I want to do is completely redo the B-Sod visuals, because they're kind of shit. That's the main thing I want to do. So, before adding any more visuals, I will do that first. And yeah, I'm thinking of... maybe I'll add a Go thing for Extension. But, I should also put in the description... like, things about this song. So, length, PB, the saws, that they're all insta-kill. Honestly, I have kind of thought of not making them insta-kill. Not as, like, any kind of cheaping out thing or whatever, but it's just like... fucking hell, it's rough. Like, having them all be insta-kill is pretty rough, and... additionally, lag is a very big problem for me in the song. Because, for whatever reason, I lag a lot. Sometimes bigger than other times, but it happens and I don't know why. And it's entirely a me issue, too. I've seen many others play the things that I've played before, and they don't have any lag. So, I don't know why it happens, but it's a bit of an issue, and considering that I'm pretty much have to be the verifier of this, because I'm not giving anyone else this chart until I'm done with it. I have somewhat thought about at least making some non-insta-kill, because it's very rough, and I'm not sure if I can actually do it. But at that point, I may as well just nerf the saw count instead of not making them insta-kill. And I may do that for some parts of the extension, because... good lord. The extension is rough. Is insanely difficult, especially the end of it. Which y'all won't see for, like, forever. It's gonna take me forever to fucking get there once. actually know what happened there. It's a bit of an odd one.
One down.
Usually if I die to that saw, it's because I forget it's a 3 saw. No, that time I just fully dodged it wrong, I guess. Kinda always is. If you want to know the hardest part, it's the entire extension. Like, the extension is absolutely the hardest part. And that's because, like, it's basically the entire song again, with new saws, duet, and the saws are harder. So it's like the entire extension, but if you want a specific part of the extension, it's the extension B-side to the end of the song. I am not confident I can complete that section. I have very little confidence I can even get to the B-side. But I've gotten close, so I probably can. But yeah, for real, it's just the entire extension. I forgot what says what. I would try to read that, but I cannot. If I try to read it, I'm gonna die.
Three, two, one, go.
Yeah, that's the thing. You don't be confident in this. Run dishes, please. Oh, there's got a cat in here. Hello, Katie. She's eating.
Three, two, one, go.
So I gotta remember to let her out for a bit. I am not dodging that correctly. Like, not at all.
Two, one, go. Huh. Okay. Three, two.
That was a bit random. You enjoying your food? I feel like I'm gonna see a lot more of those deaths. Probably taking a second to have my thumb rest. And probably my ears too. Having my headphones on while listening to this. So far, this is actually fairly fun, so... At least for the first day of stream. Definitely not first day of attempts. It's probably third at this point. Yeah, Drowned David has given, well, top 4K player could definitely live 2 minutes in this. You're just gonna learn the saws. But, Drowned David has given, potential list example for where this song could place on the hardest termination mods list. And in its current state, it's potentially top 8 to 4. You done, Katie? Yeah, she's done. Here you go, Dale. Here's the scraps. So, like, if I managed to beat it in its current state, I would basically be the most skilled non-Spanish QT player. So, like, yeah, this is hard as fuck. And something on top of that, too, is most of the top list things, so like top 13, I've noticed that every victor for basically all of those songs has used health modifiers. So, actually, let me show you what I mean. So, if you press control, there's all these, and I usually use practice mode for random runs. Yeah, Bambi things are not that hard most of the time. You just need good keyboard and a lot of spamming. But when I say health modifiers, I mean these two. Health gain multiplier and health loss multiplier. From what I've seen, most people usually set them to this. This is what is usually used for random things. So your health goes up a lot faster, and you lose, like, 20% less health. This song, all completions done with health modifiers touched even at all, so if they aren't like this, are completely invalid. Now, technically, you could still use them, but this is my thing, and I will not verify it with health modifiers. And anyone that beats it with health modifiers, I will not consider their completion as a true completion. Yes, the saws are indeed a very hard part of this song, and probably most of the difficulty, but health is still a significant thing about this. Especially for the entire duet extension. So, any health modifier completions are just completely invalid. Which could technically mean it goes higher on the list, because everything, again, like everything top 13 and higher, I've only seen completions done with health modifiers. And even then, most completions I see of the top 15 or maybe 18 are health modifiers. So, yeah. That actually means this song is probably a lot harder than it would normally be. Because not only are the saws really difficult, but you actually have to worry about health too. For like the entire song. And again, this thing is 10 minutes. So, yeah. I do not plan on skimping out with difficulty on this. Sure, some parts may have to be nerfed so that it's actually possible for me to do. Because at the end of the day, if I can't beat this, I don't want that to be the finished state of it. I want to actually be able and to have beaten the finished state, which is why I may buff or nerf sections. There will not be any modifier to make it 20 minutes. I guess I should mention too, person that added the saws, did charting and the visuals, or well, when I say charting, I mean the added notes, not the original chart of Termination. That's me. All changes that are done to this song are done by me. And I'm the one that made it into the state it is currently. But like a modifier, I would either have to... When I was making the extension, I tried separating difficulties so that there would be like hard and harder, like there is for the base QT songs. So that the harder would be the one that I charted the extension on, and the hard would be the one I played on stream. But I ended up revealing the extension before I even got to the first stream, and so I wanted to finish the extension before I got to my first stream of it. And I couldn't get that to work. So I would have to make a completely different song. Or at least make it a separate song so that it would be 20 minutes. But the thing is, I really don't feel like doing that kind of thing, because you would basically end up just playing Termination 5 times in a row, with different saws every time. 10 minutes is the highest I'm willing to go. It's almost tied with Determination as the longest. Determination is like 11.5 minutes. This is 10 minutes, 2 seconds. So it's pretty close. And with just the current difficulty of it, I am happy with how it currently is. At least for the most part. Again, I may have to nerf it because a few of you have seen the extension, but it's not... Like when I say that, I mean the full extension. And the full extension is not public. It has not been seen. And yeah, all I can say about it is that it's pretty fucking insane. Like, the V-Saw alone, you have to dodge, like, 7 saws in a row, multiple times. And the post V-Saw is not much kinder. Especially not the final turn before the ending. That is probably the hardest turn in the song. And yeah, it's batshit insane. So all I can really say so far is that while the extension's hard, we are not close to the actual difficulty of this. And yeah, every saw is insta-kill. So if you get hit by any saw, you're dead. Instantly. I'll demonstrate with the first saw of the song. Once it loads.
3, 2, 1, go!
You miss a single saw at literally any point and you die. You have to do all of them correctly. That also means that an EX variation of the song cannot be done because an EX variation of a song isn't getting hit by a single saw. So the EX is just the base song. The dodging is completely default. It's default QT.
3, 2, 1, dodge.
I don't remember the default values. The dodge cooldown is like 0.12, and the dodge duration is like 0.220. Oh yeah, this is the extension. Ignore the horrors you witnessed temporarily. Oh yeah, these are the... I had some health issues. So, like... Yeah, I had issues with getting the health to work how I wanted it to. So I just did this, and now it works how I wanted it to. But if I go into events, as you can see, these are all the default QT events. This entire thing is created within the confines of the original QT mod, which is something I wanted to do. Purely because I didn't want to go and mess with other people's versions of QT in order to make this. So, yeah. But the, dodge cooldown is 0.102. So, yeah. The cooldown resets 102 milliseconds after you dodge, and the dodge duration is 222 milliseconds. You get less than a fourth of a second to dodge every saw. I just realized that. I never realized just how tight the saws actually are. Because I've gotten so used to them now. I mean, there's also Extermination V2. I did that a couple of times a long time ago, and, well, it doesn't go past double saws. Every saw in it is insta-kill frame perfect. So you have to dodge them frame perfectly. So after doing that, I don't think I realized just how tight even the default saws are, because that's less than a quarter of a second. So yeah, that is actually pretty tight. Also, I'm going to modify a saw in this song real quick, so that the visual of it works. Yeah, this is the 8 saw. This is the 3 saw. The reason it's done like this is because... Oh yeah, these ones actually aren't insta-kill. Yeah, I did some trolling with a few saws. These 3 saws, and the very last saw in the song, I don't believe are insta-kill. I did this purely to mess with the player for the most part, but the reason this 3 saw is like this, and not like that, is because I discovered with some saws that got bugged, so I didn't do them correctly, at certain points of development, that if you do not do saws with prepares when it's more than one, you can make it impossible to dodge. And, of course, for those insta-kill saws, that means that it's just straight up impossible. But if it's not insta-kill, then getting hit by it will actually lower your maximum health by 25%. And you can get hit by up to 3 saws if they aren't insta-kill. But by removing the repair on that one, I haven't been able to actually get it undodgeable. So, on top of everything with the extension already, you would have had 25% less maximum health to work with. But I can't get it to work. And I'm honestly a bit frustrated at that. But that might also be for the best. And, yeah, if you're not good at FNF, you're not beating this. You just aren't. Like, with health multipliers, you can maybe get far if you learn the saws. But... I would love to show y'all the end of the extension. Just to see the fucking hell that I have to do. But I want that to at least be secret for a little bit longer. Oh, and yeah, these, alertless saws. So, like, in this section I have a double saw. So, this is the first saw of the double, and this is the second saw of the double. The way I do alertless saws... Let me go to a point I can demonstrate pretty easily. Yeah, like right here. There's two ways that I've done alertless saws. The first one is the first saw memory section. That one's pretty unique because of the way the turns are laid out, but the first half I used to demonstrate what the second half saws would be, and then the second half saws are completely alertless. Besides the one in between in between turns. But I did buff the third turn of that second half to have an additional saw at the end. Because that's where the first half alertless saw in your turn is. And that turn felt too easy. So I buffed it like that without adding an additional alert. So it's like, it's only the one alert, not the two alert. And yeah, I'm probably fairly honest with difficulty. Because this shit's just insane. Like... Again, I'm just thinking about the end. I'm really worried about that section because... I am genuine when I say I do not believe I can do that section. Like, if you were to look at that section in the chart editor, like, basically this entire section, every section of that turn, this event bar is basically filled out. That alone should tell you how many saws are there. And every single one, again, is insta-kill. Like, due to the way you need to have saws laid out, this is the most you can fill and put into a single section, which is 4. So that's like 4 saws a second. Actually, maybe not even, because technically for a full second, you would maybe include this bit here, so that would actually be 5. 5 a second. And that's basically what the last turn is. Like, right before the ending, it's absolutely filled with saws. Yeah. It's too many, and that's kind of the reason I'm not confident at all that I can beat it. It is genuinely batshit insane. And even just the non-extension, like all parts of the original, the original sections, so like up to after this 3 saw, even just that is incredibly difficult. Like, I will not... I know I've gotten past it several times. I have at least 3 extension runs off-stream, and I think 4 on-stream. So that would be 7 at least. And even though I haven't put, like, do not believe I'm even close to putting in 100 attempts currently. I've still put in a decent bit of time into this. And that's not even to mention the other QT things I've done before. I've done Corrupted Termination. I did Corrupted Termination without getting hit. I did Delete and Insane without getting hit. I've done that a few times. I've even beaten Delete and Duo a few times. And Delete and Duo is the hardest thing I ever did in FNF. Just get into Extension in this might be harder than Delete and Duo.
Hey, come do dishes.
Alright.
Let me know when you're done.
So, yeah. Just get into Extension might be harder than Delete and Duo. And that is halfway through. Yeah, I need to do a thing, so enjoy the Wii Shop theme, I guess. I just find the fucking tab. There we go. Okay. Here you go. Give it a few more attempts at least. Stream probably won't go for a lot longer, honestly. I also don't know when next stream will be, so yeah. All I do know is that I will attempt to schedule the stream and hope that scheduling works properly and that I also don't forget. Anyway, let's give it some attempts.
3, 2, 1, go.
Yep, so like that. That was not good. Forgot which note to take down. That was down forever. And that's it. And yeah, that's as expected. I tried
3, 2,
to
1, go.
hit a jack. It did not work. I don't know why I do that sometimes. I have an idea. It's actually not related to this. I am going to open a different thing. And I am curious. How long is it going to take me to beat this? Said thing being Corrupted Termination. I want to see. How long will Corrupted Termination take me to beat after this playtime with our last dance? I'm curious. Because, like, this is easier than Leading Duo, even without any soft hits. First, I have to get past the lag. I love lag. Dude, for fuck's sake. That's a good demonstration of how big of a problem lag is for me.
3, 2, 1, go.
It's the second hardest thing in all of these songs. first off. OBS. Why is OBS having a panic attack? Yeah, the duet version handles a duet variation of it pretty poorly. So I stopped playing it. There's another duet version that does it better, but I can't find a way to play it. What is with my memory? Like, my memory is completely messing with my ability to react. Oh! Okay, so I nearly died 3 different ways there from a lag spike. That is actually a fucking miracle that I lived. I nearly died from a saw, I nearly died from health, I nearly died from overhitting, causing that would cause health loss. I nearly died 3 different ways from a single lag spike. Holy fuck. Yeah, with the lag spike in mind, I beat that. I think it had 90% accuracy. Like 90 flattish. And about 53 misses. I usually have 87 accuracy and like I have consistently had just under 100 misses for our last dance, get into the extension. So, yeah. I think that gives a decent example. I also get to the extension less than that, I think. Especially after playing for 2 hours, it says, currently. That's included in this. But yeah, this still took me a bit because I'm not used to Corrupt Determination. I haven't played it in a long time. And I've mostly just played Our Last Dance, so yeah. I think I had a lot of... I think a good amount of my misses were from lag spike. The lag spikes were, I don't know, like 20 misses. Maybe. I still would have had at least 30 without any lag spikes. But yeah, I think that gives a decent example between these two. I'm pretty used to Our Last Dance, and I'm not used to this one. This one didn't take that long to beat, and Our Last Dance is, yeah. I think a main reason why I'd like to not have insta-kill saws for Our Last Dance is actually because of lag. I'm really worried that I might get, like, a lot of far runs that die because I get a random lag spike for no reason. And it really doesn't help that the lag is inconsistent. That's the main reason why I might change the saws. But ultimately, if that's a problem, I'll probably just nerf the saw count. I don't think I'll touch them being insta-kill. I'm pretty happy with that. Even with just how difficult it is. But yeah, that's... I don't know. And I could see look at Corrupt Determination as well. Just to see, like... I say that without saw hits. Which I think is what I managed to do there. Just barely. I think that's easier than Bleeding Duo. And Bleeding Duo is the hardest thing I've done. And Get into the extension Our Last Dance might be harder than Bleeding Duo. I say might be harder because I kind of feel like it is harder. But I'm the only one that can give an opinion on that. Because I am the only one that has played Our Last Dance. And while I've done Delete and Duo a few times, I've also gotten past the extension a few times for Our Last Dance. And I even did it a few times today. So, like, I'm not sure. especially because I'm really not consistent with Leading Duo. But I think the reason for that is because I really suck at duo-style gameplay. Especially because I don't use health modifiers. Ever. Like, they're 1x. They are default here. I never touch this if I'm not doing a practice mode run or a bot play run to clear out lag. Although, usually I just do a practice mode run to clear out lag and not bot play. Because that actually gets me some playing experience. Which is definitely going to help in later sections, but whatever. But, yeah, since I don't use health modifiers, the B-Sod for Leading Duo becomes way harder. I have done both. So pre-extension, I do still believe pre-extension is harder. I think it's harder to learn as well, because there is a bit of actual learning to it and not full reaction, because there is some saw memory. And they're also all insta-kills, so you can't get hit by a single one. The highest it goes up to is dodging 14 saws in a row, which is... 14 saws in a row is the second turn of B-Sod, but it's right after your turn ends of the first turn. So the big saw spam part right after the first B-Sod turn, that's the 14 saw. And the first turn is an 11 saw. I think the math might be slightly wrong, but I don't think it is, because it goes 4, 3, 4 for the first one. 4 times 3 is 12. So by making one of them a 3 saw instead of a 4, that means it would be an 11. And the second turn is that copy-pasted plus 3. So that would be 14. So I'm pretty confident I have that correct. And then there's the extension hold note section, which I can properly talk about because I got a run there, like today on stream. That is 25 saws in a row. Now I know it's in the extension, not pre-extension, but that's a lot of saws. And yeah, there's the pre-extension post B-Sod, the final 2 turns for the endings of pre-extension. You have to dodge a 5 saw in the first one and a 6 saw in the second one. Hello, name I cannot pronounce. Yeah, that's in a different language. I'm not even gonna try. I am stupid with languages. And yeah, the second turn with the 6 saw, it also has like a 3 saw, a 4 saw, then a 2 saw, and then a 3 saw, and then it does the 6 saw, and then it has a 3 saw right after. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna open a calculator so I can look at this. So 3, then 4, and 2, 3, 6, and 3. Jesus Christ, there is 21 saws in that turn. I knew there was a lot. I didn't think there was that many. There's 21 saws in that singular turn alone. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, pre-extension, Our Last Dance, I'm pretty sure has more saws than Corrupted Termination. And Corrupted Termination has like over 450. The extension might actually get it up to 1,000 saws. Like, I thought about that before, but now I see this, and yeah. I think extension might actually bring the song up to 1,000 saws. I don't think I'm gonna count them, because I'd have to manually go through and, like, the entire thing, and I don't feel like doing that. But that is a lot of saws. Yeah, that means there's probably over 500 saws for the pre-extension, and like another 500 in the extension. Because the extension has more saws than pre-extension segments. At least I think, anyway. The B-side might be the only one where it doesn't. And I think that says a lot about the extension. Like, not how many saws I put in the pre-extension B-side, but, I think that says a lot about, you know, just how many I decided to throw in the extension. And yeah, I don't know what was going through my head when making it, to be completely honest, because, I wasn't really thinking, in all honesty. I just kinda did things. And that's it. I did not think about what I was doing. I just did things, and now we have the end result of that. So yeah, it's a little chaotic. Go ahead and close that, and I'll go back through to this. Okay, I need to wait for things to work. Oh yes, it's having a slight panic attack. Probably, I don't fucking know. I'm gonna have to deal with lag. Whatever. I'm gonna do a couple more attempts of this, and I think I'll be done. Going on for a fair while now.
3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah. Like, I hit the spacebar. Didn't matter.
3, 2, 1, go.
That's just what life does. Like, this is especially bad lag, but I've had this kind of lag happen randomly
3, 2,
before.
1, go.
You know what? Gonna do this first. I'm just gonna do a practice run to pre-extension and see what happens because there's too much lag. Like, this is actually really bad lag. This is worse than usual. Look at that lag. Beautiful. still feel like some of these sections are too easy.
Dinner.
part of the gift in this stream, I'll let y'all see the B-side. Well, I'll let y'all see the first round of the B-side. Technically two times, but whatever. Well, it'll be the first time to run through that. Alright, that's what you get to see. So yeah, it's pretty hard, and the second turn is not much better. But yeah, I am probably about done, honestly. Food and rest. Because I'm kind of tired now, I guess. And I have to eat food, so yeah. But this is what you get to see for hopefully if I get there next stream, which I don't know when I'll do, but I want to redo the visuals, B-side visuals before next stream, so it may take a bit. But yeah, I think I'm done now. So yeah, goodbye, and next stream, whenever, I have no idea, because a lot of my attempts on this will probably be off stream. But I hope you have a good day, and I am going to eat dinner.